In this video, I'll be going over some of the main things you need to know about the cookie tin banjo. Here it is. First thing of note is we got 6 tuning pegs and 6 nails down at the bottom. Currently this is tuned like a banjo, a 5-string banjo, so only 5 of the nails are being used, and only 5 of the tuning pegs are being used. And the bridge is a 5-string bridge. If you wanted to, you could tune this up like a guitar. You would take out this 5th string capo here, this little nylon screw, and put on some nylon guitar strings or electric guitar strings. The capo, as I said, is a nylon screw and a little hex nut in the back. And you'd move that from place to place if you're playing in different keys in the banjo, 5-string banjo tuning. When you get this instrument, pay attention to which way the tuning pegs have the strings wrapped around them. They lead more properly to the correct slot up here if you wind them in the correct direction. You're going to look at the pickup inside. Hold on, I'm going to take the lid off. The lid has a good amount of tension on it. And when you take it off, if you don't take the tension off the strings, it will look like an oval. And when you put the lid back on, you'll force that oval back to circle shape, and it will restore the tension on the strings, and you shouldn't lose too much tuning when you do it. Under the blue tape there, that is under this piece of wood, is the piezoelectric pickup. And that's wired back here to the audio jack. It's masking tape, so if you want to pick it up and change it to a different location on the surface of the resonator, the cookie tin, you could do that. This gets some of the best response where it is right here, but you may want to dampen that for some situations, like if you're turning the amp up real loud, you might get feedback. What you can do is stuff some plastic bags or maybe some shirts, sweaters or something into the body here, and then put the lid back on. That'll dampen a lot of the vibrations, and you should eliminate some feedback like that. Put the lid back on here. There's the pickup in the back there. And be aware that if you take the tension off of the strings, like if you take all the strings off, then these parts will be somewhat loose together. This is only connected via this cord here, tied around this piece. This tension of the strings pulls it tight onto the cookie tin, kind of locking everything into place. I'll be sending along a 6-slotted bridge if you care to tune this like a guitar. I do not recommend using regular steel acoustic guitar strings. Just, it might work, but I'm worried about the tension that would put on this. I would recommend nylon or electric guitar strings. And when you play, if you're hooked up to the amp, you can really play around with the tone. Whether you're hooked up to the amp or not, you can play around with the tone like this, but you can really play around with how much feedback you get if you're trying to experiment with that by pressing your fingers. And when you play banjo, or at least 3-finger style, you will be pressing your fingers to the top of the banjo like this, and plucking at different areas, maybe here, maybe back here. You get different tone depending on where you pluck it and depending on how hard you're pressing with your fingers too. And I think that's about all you need to know about the Cookie Tin Banjo. Contact me for maintenance issues.